Saturday live stream, November 18th, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same bat channel, same bat time. Got Sticker Kid.
Ha, you got bad time.
and Sticker Girl. And I got my Sticker Son behind the camera.
I have a question for your son.
Okay, tell me.
What's the question?
When the live stream starts, why do you sit over there?
Because that way I can make sure everything's showing off in the camera to everybody. I try to see what they can see.
He was in the interview the other day on Rachel's Ghost.
Yeah,
Shout out to Rachel's Ghost. You. Thanks for supporting us. Okay, we're going to show mostly some big new Holy Grail, new arrivals, and then we'll show the second part of this great Beatle estate I bought a week ago. The Holy Grail. What's the Holy Grail item today?
What's that called?
A road.
What's the road? You know it.
A sidewalk.
Come on, tell everybody. Show them how much you won.
That's my dog's name, and Abby.
Abbey Road?
No.
You have a dog named Abby?
Yes.
All right. This is my, from 2005, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr signed this Abbey Road album from the, it's a early 80s pressing. A real nice Paul McCartney autograph up in the light blue sky where you can see it really good. Doesn't look like it was rushed. You got Ringo on the bottom. Ringo hasn't signed his last name since 1992. And it's got the COAs from Frank Casio and Perry Cox with a picture of the signed album on the bottom. That's my Holy Grail. It's up for sale on my eBay store. Look, right around $7,000. What would one of these be worth if you had all four Beatles signed? The real deal. Do you think it would be twice as much? 10 times as much? 20 times as much?
How much is one sign or signature?
There's two signatures on there.
And how much is
one? Gary Johnson from, Wayne Johnson from Rockaway Records told me if you had one that was a real deal, it'd be worth close to $100,000.
Dang.
Is that impressive?
Who has that money?
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yeah, probably in my bank.
I didn't know you had a bank.
Me neither.
If you didn't know you had a bank, then how did you give money to it? Haha, I got you there.
You overlost one day.
In your brain?
Yeah.
You eat
Oh, we got some other new arrivals. Came in last few days. Got this factory sealed rubber sole mono from the Christmas of 1965 in 4 square corners, sealed from corner to corner with just one little break down there on that one corner. It's got the Sears mono hi-fi sticker, catalog sticker on the shrink. They would put stereo on the different color, stereo on the stereo pressings and hi-fi on the mono pressings. So number 3, made in Scranton, Pennsylvania. The Capitol Records factory in Scranton. They're the factory that manufactured the butcher covers that I peeled because they got a water-based glue. And I'm able to peel them a lot better than the West Coast with a strong glue. That's if you look real close on the mouth of the cover, it's sealed, but you can see right in the middle where it's split, where it's open just a bit, you can see this olive green Capitol company inner sleeve, which dates this to the Christmas of 1965. It's up for sale on my eBay store at, how much do you think?
1K.
How did you get that?
Smart.
That was good.
I got a joke.
She got the answer right away. All right, Sticker Kid's got a joke. Tell us your joke.
How did Red Bull break up the Beatles?
How did Red Bull break up the Beatles?
It gave McCartney wings.
It gave McCartney wings. You gotta project your voice there a little bit, Sticker Kid.
What does project mean?
Uh,
Projectile?
yeah, projectile. So they can understand, the audience can understand.
Marcio said, greetings to everyone from Ecuador.
Ecuador, all right.
I didn't know Ecuador.
We have a lot of viewers from Canada and Great Britain and all over the world, but mostly from Great Britain and Canada.
Sticker Kid,
What?
why don't the Beatles use bookmarks?
Why
Because
don't the Beatles use bookmarks?
It was a joke for me.
Okay, I know. I have to tell the audience.
Because they can't afford it.
No, because they always twist and shout when they lose their place.
They always
Okay.
twist and shout when they lose their place. That's a good one.
I don't get it.
Kids nowadays,
That's your fault.
I think it's your fault.
Got this in yesterday. A factory sealed 1978 first press of Some Girls with the hype sticker for Miss You and all the faces that were blanked out because the estates were all getting upset. Lucille Ball, Judy Garland, Raquel Welch, Farrah Fawcett, and it sold in one day, $177.
That's great.
Thanks.
We have 2 comments.
Yes.
Chris from store said, Panda with the red hair, go girl, way to go, Sticker family. And Brad Parnell said, good evening here from in Highview.
All right.
I think
Brad was in the store earlier today. Thanks a lot, Brad. He gave me his business card. I got it up
I
front.
think he was talking to her.
Yeah, he was. But I saw Brad earlier today, so I acknowledged him. You understand?
I have no idea. I can't remember what Brad just said.
Okay, got this in today. Another one of the Meet the Beatles, mono 1964. When they couldn't make them fast enough, the demand was so high, they were pasting them on covers of Capitol artists that were not selling.
How much did that one sell for?
It hasn't sold yet.
Oh, okay.
Whiskey Hill Singers, Dave Guard and the Whiskey Hill Singers. Groups like that were pretty much wiped off the map when the Beatles came to America. So Capitol couldn't keep up with the demand. They just started pasting the front slit over these covers and they converted it to a Meet the Beatles. It doesn't have a number by the RIAA.
Doesn't mean it's rare.
Yeah, it's rare. Sometimes the rarest one would be if you had one pasted over a Beach Boys album.
Is there only one in the world?
No, there's a lot of them.
How do you not have it?
Read 7 and 8. Give them 7 and 8, Joe. 7 and 8.
All right, Sticker Kid's got another joke before we talk about the butcher cover for a
Number
second.
7.
What's the Beatles' favorite dessert?
What's the Beatles' favorite dessert? What's the joke? What's the answer?
Strawberry Fields
Forever.
shortcake.
Oh, strawberry
Strawberry
shortcake?
Strawberry
Strawberry
Fields
Fields Forever shortcake.
Yeah, Strawberry Fields Forever
And I'm
shortcake.
gonna tell you in a second when we get past the actual.
Okay, let him do his thing and then we'll do the next joke.
All right, just a second on the butcher cover. I've filled 100 East Coast butcher covers and a couple West Coast in my lifetime. And this is an article from 1976 when I was 24 years old. Anderson, Indiana. Got me and I, hey, sticker kid, look who has hair there.
You?
Yeah, I actually had hair there, and I'm holding on to my prized possession there, my first butcher cover that I ever peeled.
Wait, you're on there?
1976. I was 24 years old. That's my Beatles collection at the time.
That's you?
That's me.
Oh my gosh.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Beatlemania is still alive. Local collector amazes large quantity of Beatles memorabilia. And when I got started here in Louisville, of really the big time was when Paul Rasterman sold his museum collection that was featured a couple times here in Louisville. And me and a partner, we bought $13,000 of Beatles memorabilia. All these rare things you see behind him, I bought it all. This is the only butcher cover I have in inventory at the moment. I'm working on trying to get a couple more. Had some, it was glued on pretty tight there in those few areas, but still pretty nice. It's a East Coast #3.
Skip.
And the most important thing is you gotta get that trunk slick off so you can frame it next to the butcher cover.
Jim from Seattle. Oh, wait. Jim May said, Jim from Seattle here. Bought Let me start over.
Yes.
Jim May said, Jim from Seattle here bought classic press of Zep 3 and also the Stones promo Angry Box. Box is huge. Can I ask you what's the backstory on how you acquired that Angry promo box?
The Angry Stones promo box came from California, like the bus bench, what do we call it? Bus bench? Yeah, the bus bench ad, they all came from Hollywood. And all the Angry promo box sets came from California too. So they must make some things out there that they don't make anywhere else. I bought 2 of them, sold both of them pretty quick. And that big box came from California in 2 days. I don't know how, but that was shipping fast. This is a February 29th. We talked about that Billboard magazine that sold for $1,900 last week through Perry Cox. This is a February 29th Billboard magazine. And you see on the front, Beatle business booms, but blessings mixed. Because they were selling 60% of all the records, everybody was praising them that they were doing it, but the other record companies were crying the blues because they didn't have a chance to sell very much at the time. That the Beatles said 17 million plus in 6 months. That's how much the Beatles grossed in America in 6 months. 17 million. And on the charts on this one, February, it said 29th. You got an ad where it's promoting because the Beatles were being released on every record label possible. This is MGM. They were releasing a green picture sleeve of My Bonnie. That's an ad for that. Then on the charts, I Want to Hold Her Hands, #1. She Loves You is #2. And Please Please Me is #6. But the one that Perry Cox sold for so much was where the Beatles were the top 5. Meet the Beatles on the album charts was #1. And Introducing the Beatles was #2. And on the last No, this isn't the one where they're promoting the Beatles' second album. It must be the other billboard I have.
Jim had a question.
Yes.
You know how many were pressed? How many boxes were made, I should say?
I've seen on the internet, I've seen about no more than 10 sold. So maybe they made 100 of them, and the collectors, 90 of them were kept by collectors. It's pretty limited.
I got another joke.
All right, Sticker Kid's got another joke before I go on.
Talk louder.
Number 20.
Yeah.
Project.
Why did the Beatles go to school?
Why did the Beatles go to school?
Because I heard it was going to be a hard day's night.
Because they heard it's going to be a hard day's night.
And they wanted to help.
And they wanted to help.
Oh, they needed help.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good job.
Hey, you want to know something? Mr. Stickermania.
Yes.
We started our channel in November, right?
We've been on a year. We're at 1,100 subscribers. Thanks a lot. And I have almost 1,000 followers on eBay. But that took me 16 years on eBay, where it only took me 1 year on YouTube.
It hasn't been 1 year. But it's about to be because you started this channel in November 22.
When right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the second video we made was on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all should do a video for y'all's 1 year. Like
Anniversary?
Yeah.
We'll do that.
I won't be here.
And 1 year anniversary.
I won't be here.
Question.
There's two. Daniel Castillo said a lot of R&B singers were complaining about British cover songs were getting promoted more than originals. And then Mr.
So the British invasion, they covered the rhythm and blues artists, but I see what you're saying. The British invasion, they were up there towards the top of the charts.
And Mr. Beatles Pro said, personally, I think it's insane people are paying for stuff from Perry Cox. Oh, he thinks it's insane what people are paying for stuff.
Oh, yeah, insane, yeah. Perry Cox doesn't own most of those items that he sells. He sells on commission for collectors all over the world. So a lot of my butcher covers that I peeled for Rockaway Records were sold through Perry Cox, and a lot of items that I've sold before in the last couple of years, somehow the collector decides they want to sell them, and they sell it through Perry Cox, and he charges a commission. Where all the things that I buy and sell, I buy them, me and a partner, we buy them ourselves. That's the difference. There's some of the things that Perry Cox owns. All right, let's talk about my German pressings just for a
Wait.
second.
One more comment.
Yes.
Daniel Castillo said, Lou Reed said it was Anglophobia why the Beatles became an instant success.
I don't think Lou Reed liked the Beatles a lot, but he said it was, what did he say?
Anglophobia?
Anglophobia.
I've never heard that before.
I don't know. Lou Reed wasn't a big fan of the Beatles, I don't think. I sold another one of these today. The best pressing of Please Please Me, the Germany pressing, The Beatles. Sold about 5 of these in 3 weeks. The people that sell these don't understand that this pressing is such a good serial pressing. It has to have -2 in the matrix, the 1973 pressing, which this has, and it takes the Beatles' first album to a whole different level as far as rock and roll. You can see how great they were at the beginning. After 10,000 hours of practice in Hamburg, they came back and they knew what to do. And George Martin recorded this album in 1 day, except for the single tracks, and it's just amazing what the Germans did with the cutting, the Neumann lathe, and they were just able to bring so much more out of these recordings, more of a stereo effect.
Brad Parnell asked, have you seen any copies of the newspaper Paul Jones editorial where he panned the Beatles after they were on the Ed Sullivan Show?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Daniel Castillo also said Little Richard said he didn't think the Beatles were good in Hamburg.
John Lennon said that you hadn't really heard the Beatles until you had heard them in Hamburg. So I don't know. Either you can believe John Lennon, or you can believe who was it? Oh, Little Richard. I think I'd go with John Lennon's opinion.
Mr.
And and Peter Jackson, the one that did Lord of the Rings, he's working on the Star Club tapes from Hamburg, of making them really sound good. He's he's taking the guitars and the vocals and everything separate, and he's going to make a awesome stereo mix of it here in the next year or two. Yes, and he's also going to do the Shea Stadium 1965 concert.
I'm gonna hear a little beep real quick.
Okay. Little beep.
Okay, I got it. Now Mr. Cameraman can read this more clearly.
Oh, I know what it is. I've already read it. I'm looking.
One more German pressing. I'm going to start moving along, or we're going to drag this down here. Try to do this in an hour. We were on 90 minutes with Rachel Ghost the other day. This is another great German pressing, the Revolver, with their the way they were able to master the recording. They were able to separate the stereo more than the UK and the USA, and this is probably the best stereo pressing. The 7.2 prefix of Revolver that you can get that exists in the world. Andrew from Polygram Auctions agrees with me and says this is the best stereo pressing of Revolver that is out there.
Daniel Castillo said the Beatles opened for Little Richard in the Star Club, and Brad Parnell said I had those Star Club records on vinyl. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. He is right. Brad is right.
You're getting a lot of comments today. That's good.
That's good. We got quite a few people there watching us today.
I got a call.
I think Rachel's Ghost helped the other day. My interview.
What does this say?
I need a joke.
Here. Read
Thank
that
you.
one right there.
It's almost 10
Alright,
minutes.
if Sticker Kid quits interrupting, maybe I can get carry on.
Last joke.
Alright, one more joke, Sticker Kid.
Which one?
Oh my God, it's that one right there.
Where are all the Beatles?
Uh-huh.
Where are all the old Beatle records stored?
Where are all the old Beatle records stored?
How do you say Lennon? The Lennon closet.
The linen closet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Alright.
That's like the Allen. I did the other day on Rachel's Ghost. They asked me about the Livingston covers, Butcher covers, and I forgot to say, Allen Livingston was the president of Capitol Records when the Beatles broke wide open, and he was the one that kind of pushed to release Meet the Beatles and I Want to Hold Your Hand, because his wife really liked the song. And Dave Dexter wanted to turn it down, but Allen Livingston was the president, and so he pushed for it. But when the Butcher cover came out in '66, and they were pasting them over and destroying them, somebody from the factory out in LA took 24 pristine covers, first date covers that were never covered over, 20 mono and 4 stereo, and put them in a box and took them to Allen Livingston and says, "You need to put these away." And so he put them away for wherever it was till the late 1990s, 30 years. And he thought that box might have been worth $50,000. But in today's money, that box was worth probably $10 million. Because those Livingston Butcher covers, a lot of them go from $50,000 to $100,000 a piece.
Okay.
Yesterday I sold the mono ad back that I had of introducing the Beatles. It sold for $2,500 and was shipped out in the mail. This is my version 2. It's in near mint condition that has "Please Please Me" on it. No seam splits, no rub wear, the usual rub wear. It's almost impossible to find them in this condition. And the record pretty much looks unplayed. This came from that Tennessee estate of a Florida Beatles collector. All right, let's go on. Any other questions before I go on?
I got one.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weather's gonna be tomorrow?
What the weather's gonna be tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. What?
It's gonna be 35 to 58.
35 to 58 here in what city do we live in?
Louisville.
Say it. Say it, project it. How do you say it?
Louisville.
That's good.
Louisville.
You've been here long enough to figure that out.
Louisville. Stop mimicking me. It's Louisville.
A couple other things here to show. I just got these two reel-to-reels this week. We talked about the Beatle monthlies I got asked about. I found one copy I had left. This is a late issue, number 73 from August of, I think it's 1970. And the Beatles were breaking up August 1969. They only made it to 77 issues before the Beatles monthly book was discontinued.
Was you sad?
I don't remember that much about it. I was only 15 years old.
Wait,
I did know Woodstock happened, but I didn't think about going to it.
how old are they?
How old are what?
The Beatles.
They were like 20.
No, how old are they now?
They're 80 and 83. 81 and 83, I think. Paul's.
Yeah, like that many years apart.
Ringo was the oldest Beatle. He's 83 now.
Oh, well, the other.
He's the last one to join, but he's the oldest Beatle. I showed this on Rachel Ghost, the factory pre-recorded in beautiful condition of Let It Be. This black cover is almost impossible to find without the usual rubware that you get to it. I got this today. Nice Abbey Road from 1969. It's an audiophile way to hear Abbey Road with a new song. Just little things you hear in this recording on a reel-to-reel, real nice reel-to-reel that you don't hear on a record because they don't have to add compression when they make these factory reel-to-reels as close as you can hear to the master tape.
You look like that one dude when you was younger. But
This is the Abbey Road again. Where Paul doesn't have his shoes on.
And then do the other answer.
yeah, I know. Chris W said, "Here's a joke for Sticker Kid.
Okay.
What happened to the frog when he parked his car illegally?
What
It
happened?
got towed away.
He got towed."
Towed away. He got towed away. Way to go,
I
Chris.
beat you there right next to it in another word.
Talk about the Rolling Stones for a second. Got this ticket stub in last week for the Cincinnati Gardens and the program from 1965. This was before Satisfaction was released, so I'm sure it was only about half full. When the Beatles played the Cincinnati Gardens in '64, they let too many people in. It only held, supposed to only have 16,000 people, and they sold 19,000. They sold 3,000 extra tickets, a standing room only, and the temperature was 110 degrees. If you look at the pictures of the Beatles in the Cincinnati Gardens, the sweat is just pouring off of Lennon and McCartney. But this is one for the Rolling Stones from the same place, 1965. Price was $4.50 to see the Rolling Stones. And I'm sure you're right up front. Talked about the Young Girls. This just came today. This is a factory sealed second issue of Sticky Fingers. And if you notice, this is a first pressing. It's not factory sealed. The first issues, they had the zipper all the way to the top, but it was doing damage. When these 25 were in a shipping box, this zipper, the top of the zipper was pressing up against the grooves of the record above it and was doing damage. A lot of people were complaining about it, so on the second issues, they pulled the zipper down. And on the back, it doesn't have the print on this side. That's how you can tell it's the second issue, but it does have the original hype sticker that's affixed to the shrink. But that's in beautiful shape. Just a little break where the zipper is in the shrink. And this is a UK pressing that was mastered by Doug Sachs. He did the German pressing and the United Kingdom pressing. Some people think it's like Michael Fremer, that it's a better sounding mix than the USA pressing. But you notice how the covers looks a little different. They got the sticky fingers there on the front, where the USA is blank. And you can believe that the original price of this in 1972 in the record store was $4.19.
Cheap.
All right.
This is STICKERMANIA.
Yeah.
Can I leave?
Yeah. Thanks for helping out, Sticker Kid. Here, give me a fist bump. A lot of good jokes.
I think next video I'm gonna play a little bit of music.
A little music.
Yes, in the background.
We can't do that. We get in trouble for that.
How?
All right, a few more of my new releases, new arrivals before I get into the second part of the state. Got the CD selection, CD collection ended a couple of days ago. This is a 1991 Beatles CD singles collection from the United Kingdom. And it's got the picture sleeves that they put on these from the early 90s. Pretty nice. It goes all the way to, they added, guess they're not in order. There's no yesterday on this one. That's all the singles that were released in the United Kingdom. And this was part of the same collection. This is a CD anthology, and it's pretty rare to get it in the slipcase. Anthology 1, Anthology 2, and Anthology 3, they all fit into the slipcase. The slipcase was, I think, was only sold in Blockbuster. It wasn't sold very many places. And every time you bought an anthology, you got one of these interview records free with the anthology purchase. I was in line here in Louisville at midnight when Anthology 1 came out, and they had a little party at Best Buy's when they released Anthology 1. I think that's pretty nice. And the anthology, okay, you got the VHS sealed of the VHS tapes, 8 of them. You got the promo binder that was given out
That's cute.
at some record stores. You got the, this was advertised, the TV special, the 3-night TV special on ABC, where it says the first new Beatles recordings in 25 years. I got the sealed Anthology 1 and the sealed Anthology 3 here. I got Anthology 2 coming in the mail, but I don't have it right now. And I got the Anthology sealed Laserdisc. I think there's 5 Laserdiscs in there. I got a Laserdisc player, but it doesn't, I think it's only 460 is the resolution, so it's not equivalent to a DVD or a Blu-ray for sure. And I'll show some of these posters I got from the estate. These are promoting the anthology, the video. This promotes the first song in 25 years, Free as a Bird. It's got the sheet music behind it. This is a early 1990s print called the White Glasses
shit,
linen
hold on.
print.
I gotta lift that up. I didn't realize you were looking at that.
And it's signed by Klaus Vorman. He did 250 limited prints. There must be a Klaus Vorman drawing there. You got promoting the Anthology 3, the last time the Beatles were together for pictures there at John Lennon's estate. You got the promo poster from 1999 for Yellow Submarine soundtrack. The 1991 promo poster for Live at the BBC. You got, this is a backing card for, backing cards can be valuable. This is for the Beatles harmonica, original authentic from 1964. And if you open it up, it's got sheet music for 2 songs in there, Little Child and Please Please Me, so you could practice with your harmonica playing to those songs. Made by Hofner Harmonica out of Germany.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Brad Parnell asked, do you have any of the Beatles trading cards from 1993?
1993, I've had whole sets of River, made by River Company. There were, can't remember how many cards there were. If it was Brad probably knows, 390 or something. But I also had the promo. Travis probably remembers it, where they were, all 4 Beatles were at a telephone booth, and I got it when we had, when I was in we went in some grocery stores, and we got that as a promo.
Oh, yeah.
I sold that a long time ago in Hamilton, Ohio. This is some flats to promote the red and blue for the 20th anniversary of the red and blue. So this must have been 1993 when it came out on CD, and that's a poster promoting the CDs. You got a promo poster for Anthology 2 there. You got Sgt. Pepper on compact disc. And we got a few posters that I hadn't shown. This is all from the Beatles estate in Tennessee that we traveled 10 total hours down to 4 hours there and 6 hours back to get a hold of all this stuff. They had all these posters and tubes laying on a table, and they said, "Do you want all these posters for $100?" I didn't even look at what was inside them. I just bought them. This is a real nice poster of the Beatles when they were in Brian Epstein's home.
Help him.
Hold that down.
Cause I gotta make sure it's seen everything.
From 1967, May of 1967, when they're holding on to the Sgt. Pepper album, promoting before it was released. You can tell Paul and John are really into it, but I don't think Ringo and George are. They're just like looking on and saying, "Let's get through this." John and Paul were into it.
Mr. Beatles Pro said he has the phone booth from.
He has a phone booth. I had it in the shipping box. And I'll be able to see some of these posters here. Sticker girl.
I got you.
This is promoting Paul is Live. It's a takeoff of Abbey Road where he's with his dog Martha when this dog was still alive, and he's crossing the road real quick before he gets run over. And they got that Volkswagen in there again. And it says 51 something. So I guess Paul was 51 at the time, where the other one says 21.
The back has songs on it.
And then that was on compact disc, and the back has the songs that Paul did live on this CD, a lot of Beatles songs. And I got you saw my big poster last week of Flaming Pie. This is the regular poster promoting that. These are all in perfect condition. They're all in poster tubes. This is a promoting hold on to that end. When Anthology first came out, they showed the dates when the other Anthology was going to be released. They said Anthology 2 was going to be February 1966 and 1996, and Anthology 3 spring of 1996. Anthology 1 was already out. A few more of the posters. Got this Anthology 1 promotional poster that we didn't put up on the wall. The Savage Young Beatles, you can see where they took Pete Best out of his head out of the picture, and they put Ringo in his place. Sure Pete Best didn't like that. And we got a promo poster promoting a Band on the Run, the 25th anniversary. Not too many people are alive on that picture of all those people, famous people on Band on the Run. And did we get through them all?
Big one.
I showed this in Rachel Ghost's live stream. This is one of the very first promo photos of the Beatles when Ringo joined the group. It's a promotion for Anthology 1. And George is, looks like his black eye is almost healed up because he got a black eye. One of the first shows when Ringo performed at the Cavern, somebody that was a Pete Best fan didn't like it, and they gave him a black eye. Is that all the new posters there?
Yeah.
Daniel Castillo said the Sgt. Pepper poster with Elvis is cool. How did you source it?
Oh, the print where Elvis is over on the side, the outtake of Sgt. Pepper cover.
Yeah,
I bought it on the internet. I've had it about 5 times. But I think it's cool where they got Elvis over a bust of Elvis that they didn't use in the final.
The one's gone. You sold them.
Yeah, I saw it. It went out in the mail. We talked about Pete Best. That's a signed Pete Best on the drum. I'm gonna go through these real quick before I go through some new albums that I pulled out of the collection. We got the signed Denny Lane. It says Denny Lane with Paul McCartney, Paul and Lennon McCartney. You got the 1999 Yellow Submarine soundtrack. I listened to this on CD, and I loaned it to my son today, but the mixes on this song, it's doubled in value in the last couple weeks because of the red and blue. Because everybody, the hardcore Beatle freaks still like the mixes on this 1999 Yellow Submarine soundtrack. They think that they're superior to a lot of the mixes that are on the new red and blue. Got this Beatle Fest from 2005 program that's signed by Victor Spinetti, the man that was in more Beatle movies than anybody besides the Beatles. He was in 3 of their movies. You got Mark Hudson, you got Denny Lane and Lawrence Juber's autograph, and Denny Sewell, the drummer that was on Ram. You got Pete Best down there. And even down here you got Robin Leach. He's no longer with us. He said, "Champagne wishes, Robin Leach." Can you imagine he was at a Beatles Fest? Doesn't make sense to me. You got the, showing some of these things. This is Abbey Road with the misaligned apple. This one right here. The very first issue, 1969 from the United Kingdom. Notice how the apple is misaligned on the one there, and it's corrected on the second issue. And the cover is just a little bit different tint also. This one's a little brighter. It's amazing how much clearer that picture is than the USA copies. It's like the United States almost used a copy of a copy to make Abbey Road covers, where this is laminated and it's just so clear, showing the Beatles crosswalk.
Have you ever been there?
Yes, it's a real busy street. The cars are going by about 50 miles an hour, so you got to pace yourself. You got to be ready to go.
Next time you go there, take a picture.
I did take a picture out the phone.
Oh.
Got your first press of the stereo, first day issue, 1968, the United Kingdom, the White Album. It's got a mistake on record 1 where it doesn't have EMI recording, but it's excellent condition, laminated cover that opens from the top. Number 498086. The first 300 to 400,000 were mono, and then they started pressing the stereo. And the demand was so heavy that at that time they couldn't make these fast enough. And when stores ordered 25, 50 copies, they only got like 10 or 20% of what they ordered the first week. Took about a month to catch up. The pressing I always talk about, the mid-1970s stereo of Beatles for Sale with -1 in the matrix. One of the most powerful rockin' Beatles albums I've ever heard. There's a lot of covers on there, but the Beatles took the covers to a whole different level. But McCartney and Lennon's harmonies on this pressing will knock your socks off. On the Christmas album, this authentic Beatles Christmas album, when you belong to the Beatles fan club. I don't have my flexi disc with me right now, but got this in 1970. This is an authentic one with the small indentation on the record label. I got this here, Ringo Starr Christmas album. I Wanna Be Santa Claus. The first pressing of the Beatles album in North America of November 1963. It was released, Beatlemania with the Beatles. It's pretty much like Please Please Me was in the United Kingdom, the same tracks. Real nice shape. And then the second album, released in Canada, called Twist and Shout, featuring She Loves You. A lot of people are complaining about the new remix of She Loves You. I think the original is more powerful to me, but maybe it's just wired in my brain.
I thought you wanted to show them posters.
We did show all the posters.
Oh, I thought you said about them.
No.
No, we already shut them before.
All right, we're going to get into the second part of the state, unless we got some questions. Let's take a break here for a second. Any questions?
Brad Parnell asked, do you have the Wonderful Christmas Time single with Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Yes,
Reindeer?
yes, I do. I don't think I brought that up here, but I'll show some. Since you got me on that, we'll talk about these from the estate sale, these picture sleeves from all over the world of Paul McCartney. Some really strange ones. Got a couple promos from the United States of Arrow Through Me and Waterfalls, and a promo of white label promo of Only Love Remains. That's the stock copy and the promo copy. And we got these from all around the world. This is the strangest one from Russia, where Paul McCartney talks about recording Give Ireland Back to the Irish and his relationship with John Lennon. But if you open this up, it's like a little pamphlet. It has all these flexi discs in the middle from Russia. It's like a flexi disc booklet with like 7 flexi discs.
Where's the disc?
These are it. You play these. You're supposed to tear that out of the booklet and play the disc, but I'm going to leave it, sell it like that. That's pretty unique. I've never seen that before. From Russia.
Daniel Castillo asked, any autographs from Stewart, the original Beatles bass player?
No, Stuart Sutcliffe. No, I didn't. The one was at $1,500 on eBay a couple weeks ago, but I thought about it, but would rather buy my pole than Ringo sign Abbey Road.
Great question.
And the rest of these, you got a Russian. I haven't figured out what song. A Russian picture sleeve. Got a United Kingdom of year 16. These are from all over the world. I figured out where the albums came from, but I'm not sure where these from. Figure of 8. You got My Love. Looks like it's from France. See if it has a GMA. That's Germany. No, it's France. You got Tug of War. Helen Wills. That's a different picture sleeve. From a lover to a friend. From a foreign country. That's probably United Kingdom. London Town. Got some Japanese in here, I know. You got Let 'Em In. Has all the Wings picture. Got a record store day sealed of from a few years ago of Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane. Got one Beatles still in the middle of that. Got all these picture discs. Paul McCartney from Tug of War. Beautiful Night. Young Boy. And The World Tonight. I'll sell those 3 as a set. There's some Lyndon McCartney ones I didn't bring up here. Got a USA Mary Had a Little Lamb, hard one to find. A USA of Mull of Kintyre. This was the Wings' biggest hit they ever had in the United Kingdom. He even outsold She Loves You. You got Hi 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 and Sea Moon. That's a picture of them from the promo video of that. Venus and Mars. Pretty nice on that. I like that picture from Wings 1976 tour. Another Helen Wills from another country. Looks like France. Got a Japanese of Band on the Run in 1985. Real hard picture sleeve to find a nice shape. This is from England. Waterfalls.
You ever went to a different country?
Hi Hi Hi. And Let 'Em In. So I didn't show those last week.
Did you hear me?
He went to Australia. He went to, where else did he go?
I went to England. I went to Australia.
Uh-huh.
I went to a lot of places when I was
You?
in a rock and roll grocer.
I've been to Italy and Hawaii.
And then here, got this in the state. These are from the 1990s in the USA. Jukebox singles on colored vinyl. They all have the jukebox strip. You got Sgt. Pepper. Norwegian Wood was the only one on black vinyl. The Love Me Do is real rare. I don't have that. She Loves You. Help on white vinyl. Can't Buy Me Love on green vinyl. You've got to Hide Your Love Away on gold vinyl.
I like them.
Birthday on green vinyl. Clear vinyl of Obla Di Obla Da. Here, There, and Everywhere on gold vinyl. White vinyl on Hard Day's Night. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Clear vinyl. Paperback Rider on red. And this one's Lucy in the Sky. It doesn't have a jukebox strip. And it's on red vinyl. I'll be selling those as a set.
Yeah, those are too expensive to put on your wall. I know you're probably thinking, oh, I can put a design on my wall with them.
What if I just
Oh, I got all these. Can I get in here, Sticker Girl? With this box.
You probably move more.
Ba, 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 ba.
You could have handed it to him.
These are albums from all over around the world. This Beatle collector, he wanted to have pressings from all over the world. These are some strange countries and some covers you've never seen before. This is the greatest hits from
the Beatles?
Korea. Music Week, The Beatles Volume 2. Top 10 hits. This is from Crito, I guess. The Beatles, To You. It's got hits from their whole career on it. Can't Buy Me Love and all the way up to Let It Be on here. You got one from Central Track America, the greatest hits album. You got a 62 to 65 greatest hits from Czechoslovakia.
Do you want me to tell you what we're at?
You say Czech Republic now. These are legitimate pressings. It's on EMI. I've never seen these before. Some of these gotta be pretty rare. You got Asia, the very best of the Beatles. They all have unique covers. This one's got a unique back cover.
Oh, looks like you.
You got, I'm not sure if I figured out where that one was from. Looks like Germany. The Beatles. The Beatles from Brazil.
Did you ever have an idol before the Beatles?
The what?
An idol before the Beatles?
Idol before the Beatles?
Yeah.
No. You got a Spain. I thought it was Russian, but it's a Spain greatest hits. You got a Golden Beatles from Korea. All these are in near mint condition. I don't think he played them. He just wanted to collect them from all over the world. You got two from Romania. One's called Beatlemania, and the other one's called High Voltage.
High voltage.
You got, not sure if I figured that one out. Beatles hits. This is on gold vinyl from Germany. Special limited gold vinyl. Beatles greatest. I got a lot of press, those are greatest hits. Now I got a lot of pressings from their early albums from all around the world. Beatlemania from Brazil. With the Beatles from Australia. With the Beatles from Peru.
That's good.
This is from
France.
France. The Beatles.
Knew it.
That's pretty good. You figured that out. It was France.
Yep.
With the Beatles. What country?
England.
Germany.
Dang it.
It's got that little Odeon gold sticker. You knew it was from Germany. Los Beatles. Pretty sure that is.
France.
It's Argentina. I wrote a little note on there. You have to really look through it close to figure out where they come from. I don't think I figured. Oh, here I wrote it down. Brazil. The Beatles. The Beatles again from Brazil.
You could tell that's from Brazil.
You got from Italy. Say the Italy word there.
You could definitely
That's
tell.
a unique cover there. This is like a solo Beatles greatest hits from France. Beatles Party, but this is a legitimate release. Never seen it before. With Hi, 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 Imagine My Sweet Lord, Back Off, Boogaloo, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Women is, you know, what of the world, Mother, Another Day, Power of the People, What is Life, If Not for You. Hits from the Big Four. It's almost like they were making a new Beatles album in France.
Why not in America?
This is the audiophile pressing from England of the Beatles, first featuring Tony Sheridan, all in true stereo with hardly any compression, and Paul McCartney's bass playing really shines on this pressing. Andrew from Polygram Auction considers this one of the top 10 audiophile pressings ever from the Beatles. You got this George Martin from the USA of Help, where he does his instrumentals of all the songs on Help, and other versions, so it's not just Help songs. It looks like it's mostly Help. You got this gold vinyl from Canada. It's the only rare pressing. It's got the hype sticker in there of Real Music. Gold vinyl.
Cute.
Pretty hard to find. You got this Past Masters. Interesting now with all the new remixes from England. It's got Volume 1 and Volume 2. And they're in a gatefold cover.
You ever had a pink vinyl?
Never seen this before. Past Masters from England, Volume 1, Volume 2 from England. Got a Sgt. Pepper from the USA that's still in the factory shrink. Almost possible to find these gatefold covers with the banner on top still in the shrink, because everybody wanted to see the picture in the middle. This is an Apple early 1970s issue. Got a Beatles again in the shrink, first issue from the USA, 1970. Before they started putting Hey Jude on the label, when they first pressed it, they thought the record was going to be called Beatles Again. But they changed that quickly to Hey Jude, because that's why people bought the album, to hear Hey Jude. You got some underground records here. You got Get Back. That's what the cover of Let It Be was supposed to be first, when they were going to call it Get Back. That's an underground release. You got a sealed trademark of quality of Atlantic Whiskey Flats. But that's not a live recording from Atlanta. That's a Hollywood Bowl show. But the bootleggers didn't care, as long as they sold some records. This is a real nice bootleg. Revolution. It's got the long 20-minute version of outtake of Revolution, and it's called Take Your Knickers Off. This is a nice bootleg of Paul McCartney's unreleased tracks called Cold Cuts. A lot of people wanting a legitimate release of this someday. You got some sealed remastered, half-speed remastered 180 gram Wings Over America and Speed of Sound. You like to keep everything sealed. And one more of that would have been Tug of War. Got another Denny Lane, which features Paul and Linda a lot, called Holidays. These are all Buddy Holly songs with Denny Lane, Paul McCartney, and Linda doing their versions of it. It's a real nice thing to hear. This is a hard one to find from Ringo when he was kind of an alcoholic. It's called Old Wave. They wouldn't release this in the United States, but they released it in Canada only. And then the great Ringo album that they're going to probably do a box set this year. But this is the first pressing that has the second song called Have You Seen My Baby? And on the second pressings, they changed that to Hold On. But this is the very first pressing. It says, Have You Seen My Baby? And two more in here. You bought this at the Cavern Club. I think somebody asked about this last week. It's a souvenir from going to you can only buy this at the Cavern Club. Tribute to the Cavern. 16 original hits by the Beatles, Cherry and the Bassmakers, Billy J. Kramer, Cilla Black, The Foremost, and the Swinging Blue Jeans. And this is a USA, when they were figuring out any way to sell Beatles music. A lot of people thought Beatles music was on there, but it wasn't. Called Beatlemania. So that's all came from that estate we got in Tennessee. Got any questions for me? I think I got through all my new stuff I wanted to show.
You're winning extra right now, so we're 64 minutes. So
All right, we're gonna be on here about 5 more minutes. We got any more questions?
We don't.
I'll show those 2 programs down there.
I'll tell you the programs. Girl, he's about to fall over. Get up.
Got these 2 original concert programs of the Beatles when they toured the United States. You got the 65, and they played Shea Stadium, and close to me. They didn't play many places close to me. In 66, they played Cincinnati, where they got rained out and had to perform at noon the next day. But this was a program of the last Beatles concert at Candlestick Park, August 29th in San Francisco. And that's about my...
Daniel Castillo said you got in a convention in Nashville.
Got a what?
He said.
Wake up, girl. Wake up.
Daniel Castillo said you got it from a convention in Nashville. Question mark.
No, he's asking to get it from a
No, we got this. This was an online estate sale in Crab Orchard, Tennessee, a small town in Crab Orchard, where the niece that had this collection from her uncle had all of it to sell, and she sold all the Beatles memorabilia for $40,000 in Nashville, and then all the records were put on an online auction in Tennessee, and I bid for like crazy for 90 minutes. I knew what my maximum bids were, and I won 136 lots of the 200 Beatle lots, and that's where all these Beatle albums came from all over the world, and all these singles and everything else.
All your Black Friday goodies.
Yeah, Black Friday goodies. I'm trying to get them all up on my eBay STICKERMANIA 2853 store by next weekend, I hope. Black Friday's coming up real quick, isn't it? All right, I think we did it, and we got through this, and I hope you enjoyed this little live stream. Until next Saturday night, our usual time. See you later from Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks a lot.